Day 7, which brings us to the end of the creation story. So the heavens and the earth were completed in all their vast array. By the 7th day, God had finished the work he had been doing. So on the 7th day, he rested from all his work. Then God blessed the 7th day and made it holy, because on it he rested from all the work of creating that he had done. When was the last time you rested? Like, really rested? In order to answer that question, you're going to have to rewind the clock back to February, before there was a quarantine, before we knew anything about COVID-19, when all the businesses were open and schedules were hectic and everybody was still in school. How often did you rest? I'm sure we've all seen the statistics and research about how Americans are some of the most overworked people in the world. Americans, on average, work longer hours per week than their European counterparts, and they receive fewer paid holidays. And we have no guaranteed maternity leave, while other countries insist on both the mother and father receiving paid leave to help raise their children. We go on fewer vacations, we take fewer sick and personal days, and we work more overtime than we should. We buy into that lie that busyness equals productivity. But that couldn't be further from the truth. See, more and more we are seeing studies that show the importance of rest, of time off, of even brain breaks during the day. Something as simple as a 10 to 15 minute break to walk around the office or walk around the parking lot, walk around the block can actually help spur creativity and productivity. If we don't take breaks and if we don't find time to rest and disconnect, then we are in danger of burnout. And I think God knew we needed rest. He created us after all, so he knows us. I think he'd be a pretty good judge of what we would need. But see, here's the thing. He never calls us to do something that he himself is unwilling to do. God calls us to rest, as we'll see in the Ten Commandments. And so God sets the precedent by resting. Like I've said, we've been hearing a lot on how good breaks and rest can be for our minds. Breaks from people, from social media, from technology, from just noise. I mean, it seems like we can't stand to be in silence. I mean, think about it. When was the last time you did chores without listening to music or podcast or had the TV on? When was the last time you exercised without your earbuds in? Or when was the last time you drove somewhere in silence? When was the last time that you just let your mind wander freely? I mean, for me, it's almost never, but I want to be better about it because it's good for my mind. We are creative beings. Part of what it means to be made in the image of God is that we carry on his creative work. We can add value and beauty to the world around us unlike any other creature. See, we care about art and design and color and architecture and lighting and texture and ambiance and aesthetic, and God does too. We get to participate in his creativity, but not to the point of losing ourselves in the work. God rested. Rest does not equal laziness, just like busyness does not equal productivity. And we tend to think that people are either busy or they're lazy, but so often we end up staying busy with things that don't matter, and that can be as bad or worse than laziness. Our world has slowed down, our lives have slowed down in recent months, and we're all eager to get back to normal, but I hope not everything goes back to normal. I hope we don't get so busy again that we lose focus. I hope that we don't fill our calendars back up to the point that we're losing our minds trying to keep track of it all. I hope we learn to say no. No to others' demands of us, or no to our children's overloaded schedules, or no to the idea that we have to be busy to be productive. Because God rested. And it was wholly intentional rest. The 7th day was set aside. It was different than the other days. We'll talk more specifically about Sabbath later, but God knows the importance of holy moments, of holy spaces, holy days and times. We were not created to go 100% 7 days a week. We were created to live in a rhythm of life. Evening, morning, work, rest, worship, create, feast, celebrate, get busy, relax. Don't buy into the lie that you have to work harder than God. There's a time for work and there's a time for rest. So look at your daily schedule and mark out some times to rest, to take breaks, to enjoy nature, and to disconnect from social media and the demands of your electronic devices. Until next time.